See that? I don't know how smart that is. Don't look like it hurts nothing, doesn't bind, doesn't do nothing, but it's my garage door opener. Stuck right onto my stabilizer. The stabilizer has a dual purpose now. The main one's hopefully to keep the bike stable if she gets a little bit of a wobble going, which I have felt that. Very mild wobble, but I can see where it could happen. Like if you're really accelerating kind of hard and you're on a road that has uneven surface, like from tire grooves, when it gets high in the middle where the tires aren't and where the tires mainly ride on the road, it kind of sunken. The roads like that. Well, when you cross over them, you know, from there to there, you're gonna feel those grooves, because when you come skipping across and your front end starts to try to pull up a little bit, or it just becomes very light, it'll hit the high points. So I try not to ever accelerate real hard going strong, you know, left to right across lanes. You know, if I'm going straight down the lane, it seems to be a little more stable and safe. The little things you pick up on when you're riding. Yeah, I don't know if I'm the smartest rider or whatever, but man, I've got some miles on last few years. I've been getting a lot just on my the sport bike here on the R1. What a dream bike come true. I used to ride Harleys all the time, but I put like 70,000 miles on that Dyna. Bought one brand new in 2015, and man, I couldn't get enough of that bike. That thing made me feel like Superman. Like I had the best bike in the world. It is a good bike. Looks good, rides well, makes me feel good. Get to talk to a lot of motorcycle people, you know, wherever you go, people want to, wow, is that you? Is that your bike? Just wanted to find out who that was riding the bike and tell them I used to have one, or, you know, back in the day, this and that. Pretty soon you got a pretty awesome experience just because you ride a motorcycle. You get to, you know, have relationships and talk to people you'd never really talk to. So it's cool. There's me talking about that. Oh yeah, I haven't experienced riding. Yeah, anything I ever say is, you know, it's not like nothing 100% set in stone. It's just me and my thoughts and how I think, and shit, if I'm not thinking right out here, I want to know as well. If anybody ever watches the video, you know, you can give me those comments and, you know, help me out with some different thinking. And I am totally open to that. I know how beneficial that can be, you know. Take a suggestion, or at least to listen and consider. It's not everybody else's thinking is better than your own either, but it's available. You can take the bits and pieces that feel good and make sense to you. Like these wet roads, you know, a little thing like right back there, I didn't have to brake hard, so I was right in the middle, right in the center of my center lane. But, you know, obviously oily, slicky transmission stuff, oil from people who do cars that are not maintained well, drip a lot. Could be motorcycles too, whatever. But yeah, like something simple like that, don't brake hard in those areas. When I go to change a lane, 99% of the time I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm looking over my shoulder first. And I make sure if I'm about to look over my shoulder, I got no cars in front of me that if they decide to panic brake and slam on their brake, that I'm going to run into them. You know? So I have to be very careful. I have to make sure I have lots of space cushion when it comes time to, you know, change your lanes or do something drastic on the road. Gotta be careful. For real. You're just creating more hazards and more chances for things to go wrong anytime you get out of your lane, pretty much. Got a little moisture on the roads. Earlier, you know, nothing heavy. A little standing water there. Dry, roads are basically dry. They don't have, you know, shiny, wet look. But that doesn't mean that your traction is like on a road that has been drying in the sun for a while. It still has a small amount of, gee, I've just been wet not long ago. Always be careful too. You see curves like this, long curves, a lot of residential people, you know, they park on the side of the road. Sometimes that's all they have to park, you know. And they pull out in front of you in no time at all. Had a big blind corner right here. Guy wanted to come in and get him a sandwich the other day. Big truck turned right out in front of me as I come around. I mean, I wasn't going fast, wasn't going super slow, definitely had control for the situation, and that's the main thing, you know. He waved at me like, you know, yeah, that was close, should have thought about that a little more, you know, and vice versa on my end. I don't have to be totally upset about it. Out of habit, when you have lots of near like traffic close calls, it's easy to become aggravated real quick, just even on small simple things, because you're just so used to reacting after a while, getting a little ticked off. And especially if it's a major one, man, you know, like, gosh, that's your life. And people act very selfish out there, like you know damn well they could have took some more care, but because they're in this big box and big cage, because I've thought that, I think I'm a lot safer. I can be a little more relaxed, you know. All the stuff it tells you. Ooh, a lot of wet road here, see? Kind of wanted to hurry, get in front of that semi, but you know, decided not to slow down and have no hazards going for myself. Make a left, turn my head left, make sure that lane is clear. I know times when I thought, I'm not going to turn my head, but I turned my head to check to see whether turning my head was a good idea or not. And yeah, there was a car I couldn't see. I couldn't see in my mirror, or you know, whatever. When you're on a motorcycle, you can't take a chance of, you know, bumping a car. If you're in a big old car and you pull over and you tap somebody or hit somebody, which I've never really done that I can remember. I mean, you most likely you're not gonna, you know, cause either one of you to die. If you do that on a motorcycle, man, you're taking a risk, even 30 miles an hour, you know. And then watch, like here, I always watch people not to be too close on my butt, because if anybody slams brakes on, everybody slams brakes on in this tunnel, guess what? I'm going to get rear-ended. So So I leave plenty of space cushion and be planning like left side, right side. Which side can I go to if I know the person behind me can't stop? See, it gives me plenty of space cushion up front to take a second to think about that stuff and then make a decision which way I'm gonna go if I don't think that person can stop. You know, possibly switch to complete lane depending on what your other lane is doing. So yeah, that's the stuff my brain thinks of. There are times I get on the motorcycle, I got a lot on my mind, and that's usually my first indicator. You know, if you're gonna have a lot on your mind and keep a lot on your mind, maybe you shouldn't really be riding. You know, sometimes you don't catch that until it's too late. Then you have to reinforce yourself, you know, can't play out here. If you're daydreaming, you're gonna die. You know, you need to be looking left and right 100% of the time. Checking out your situation. Making sure nobody tailgating you back there. You know, watching everything. Very defensive rider. The more I think and plan, the more time I have to react and not cause my own self-harm either, you know? By being reckless and an idiot out here just because, hey, I'm in a little bit of a hurry. Hey, I'm on a motorcycle. I can fit through there. Yeah, what are they slowing me down for, you know? What the heck are they doing in the left lane? Left lane is for passing, not for riding side by side with another car for a half a mile. You know, and that shit make you angry, and next thing you know, you're getting up on somebody's ass and you're trying to pass and forcing them and letting them know you're not happy, which is totally useless because it's never going to change anything about them or what they do, or, you know, all it does is put me at a higher and greater risk, you know. And it reminds me that the other, I don't know, a couple weeks ago I was riding to work and a co-worker was behind me, I guess, wondering why I didn't let him in over in the right lane, and I couldn't see his blinker for real, you know. There's a guy drifting, there's a drifter, gonna drift over into his lane, no signal, no nothing. It's okay. You know, might have had an important text. You never know. Yeah, smart ass, huh? So, I guess they followed me for a couple blocks to work and kind of pointed out I was, I guess in not so many words, slightly reckless or something, you know? You know, maybe you don't see yourself like other people can see you when you're riding, so it gave me something to think about and pay attention to, like how aggressive, you know, am I out there? And because you get used to a level of your own aggressiveness in your riding habits, and so when you cut back from some of it, you think, wow, I'm doing really good. When in actuality, your average person watching you ride, or decisions you make, how hard are you hitting the gas, how quick are you passing people real quick in, you know, especially more congested, well, I wouldn't say congested, but like what we have up here is only, you know, 30 mile an hour, and lots of buildings and places people want to go, so there's people pulling on and off the road, and yeah, you know, it just gave me a chance to think about, you know, and look at myself and see what maybe I can do better. So I know definitely talking about it all the time helps me not just be into my own self-centered zone, because I feel like, hey, I'm talking to somebody else, maybe it will help them, maybe they will start thinking more like this as well, things that will help, you know, save your life. My God, like somebody dumped a bunch of water here because it's just in the one spot. Yeah, no acceleration on that rear tire. You don't want it coming out from on you. Here's a good one right here. Watch this guy. Yep, he saw me. I still didn't trust him. Hey, look right at you. That don't mean nothing. And that's even though I was going at a good pace back there. I just rode through some water, you know. So slamming on the brakes still might not help me a lot. Well, you're not slamming, but you know, a good progressive squeeze, which hopefully you remember to do and not slam them on. But that's usually what happens, you know. If you're not really experienced, you're going to grab that front brake real hard, and it's like, well, you really ain't got much other choice than to grab it hard. You grab it hard and hope it holds, or you take time to progressive brake. Sometimes there is no time for that. So what are you going to do? I choose to cut my speed down a little bit, even if it's a couple miles an hour. So that's something like right there. You can tell me about my thinking. That good thinking? That bad thinking? Or is that thinking nobody can really tell you about, can really prove, or see? Because my mind already says, I got it down. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, ain't that something? Yeah, finally check and see if I'm recording, because man, I'd be going a mile an hour, you know, 100 mile an hour talking, and no recording, and be like, jeez, I went all that yammering I did. That takes a little bit of you know, thinking and thought to put all this, whatever you want to talk about, together. Just take a little effort and energy. And that guy moved over, give me some lane open. Well, man, I made it to work without getting wet. Hey, some puddles down there. So it's supposed to be dry, 1 o'clock, and it's what, 11-ish, 11:14. Means we could get a little bit of a sprinkle or whatever. Ooh, yeah, I'm already in neutral. What am I doing? Well, anyway, that's just another journey to work. Some thoughts. Let me see if I can open this lid here so I don't sound like I'm a Jason heavy breather here. I got my camera up a little tight. My view might have been a little up in the air. Hopefully not. Anyway, let's see what kind of videos I can make out of this. Maybe it'll be something helpful, maybe it won't. It's all good. Nonetheless, it's helping me, you know. And that's what's most important, for real. Not being selfish, but... Good morning! But, you take care of yourself. And in essence, you're taking care and looking out for others. The better I take care of myself, the better I'm taking care of you. What a concept. Alright. I'm out.